I'm just I want you to listen to this.
in social media posting.
Um, there is a what I called hyperbole. Then when they say don't believe the hype,
Doing on my own personal time. I was kind of looking at ways of side hustles that I could do, and one of my family members had saw this truck and sent it to me, and we went and looked at it and kind of just talked about it, and then we decided to go forward with getting the truck, and then after that, it was kind of let's come up with a concept of something that I can take out in the community and start a business with.
okay, guys, check this out. I don't want any of you guys believing the hype that like this food truck owner says he makes $1,800 per day. Yeah, this is $1,800 per day. Try not to believe the hype about food trucks. All right, I'm just gonna do this for now, and I'll edit it later on. Anyway, guys, Chef John Grab and Go Concessions. Again, your food truck advisor is here. I'm watching a gentleman there that says he makes $1,800 a day in his food truck. Is that possible? It is not possible. Not with one person. It's not. He's one guy, one truck. I'm sure. I'm sure that you know it's a movie. It's a commercial. It's an advertisement. But I don't want you, as an entrepreneur, the new guy with the food truck, have that state of mind. Don't do it because inside of a food truck is a very tight space. If you got someone else like your partner, hope it's your wife or husband because other partners don't work. It takes a lot. If you made $1,800 a day, and then if you can manage to do that within a month, do the math. I don't. That's not what. That's not my motto. I don't go by what people say. I don't go by what people do. Actually, because you're gonna wind up doing what they do. Seriously, because you have to have your own footsteps. You gotta have your own model, your own examples. Okay. As soon as you step into that food truck, you are the captain of that ship. No one else should guide you. No one else should navigate you. Because on the danger part, you're dealing with gas, you're dealing with heat, you're dealing with electricity. It's like, everything around you is a fire hazard. So you got to have your head placed on your shoulders. Okay. I've seen videos where people would say, well, I quit my job. I make $500,000 a year on my food truck. Uh, First of all, why such a high number? Because we live in a billions world now. So it's okay to say a few thousands. It's not a sin. We're also living in an utter truth, hyperbole type of world, where if it's not of interest of anyone, it's fake news. No, you're not gonna make $1,800 a day in a food truck by yourself. You'll burn out. I'll give you 3 days. You burn out because if you're by yourself, chances are you're doing what? You're shopping, you're cleaning, sanitizing, spraying for bugs, cooking, serving, cashier, you name it. Now, two people in a food truck can make $1,800 a day for, I'd say you work 4 days a week because you just can't be in that food truck 7 days a week. You're going to have a mess. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to have a mess in your hands. That truck would be so unorganized and so dirty. And you would probably be in the world by yourself because you'd be confused. Okay, it's a lot of work. The difference between the food truck and a restaurant, it's smaller and it's just you. If you had a restaurant, you probably would have the proper help. Finding good help in the food truck, good luck with that. So that's why I said the best partner is your wife or your husband. Um, I've seen stories from Let me
I've been experiencing.
let me go to this one here.
I wouldn't say in like a.
Give me 1 minute. There goes another one that says he's made. Let me just wait for the commercial. Okay, this one says he's made 500,000. Check this out. 417K per year, and this is like part one. Part one video. Let me let you listen to that.
Exactly what it is.
Well, this guy says he makes $417,000 a year in the food truck by himself. I'm pretty sure. What is he selling? He's selling fries and finger foods. Um, it's all a myth. I don't see it now. However, let me tell you something. Now, food trucks make good money. They make enough money for you to make a good living. Number one, I always say this. Okay, guys, do not take your food truck in an area where you feel as if you got so much competition. That's downfall number one. Number two, if you are at an event and then you got food trucks next to you, to the right, to the left of you, this is something you have to consider. What if one of those trucks catch on fire? Remember what I said. A food truck is nothing but a rolling bomb. How's that? It's everything around you is a fire hazard. Okay. Um, how do you get out? Well, you get out by not going. Don't put yourself in a world of competition. That's not what you bought the truck for. That's not what you bought the trailer for. You bought the trailer so you can make money, so you can be free from the workplace. Okay? Food trucks do not fail. You do, or the person failed. Somebody failed you. Because if a food truck is on Main Street, you get chased out of there, you can always go to Spring Street. And then until you figure out how the game works this way. You don't park your food truck anywhere without permission. You don't park your food truck anywhere that is not a commercial zoning too. Why? Because of spacing and parking issues. Code enforcement is going to walk up to you and tell you to move. Now, however, if you are the type of truck that you sell from stop to stop, you have 15 minutes to sell food at any given place for 15 minutes. Okay? Or there's another rule: the last person in line. Don't leave a line. A food truck can't leave a line. If the inspector walks up and says, "Well, I told you to move," no, I still have a line. You do not, by law, leave your customers in line. You don't do that. You make sure you serve the last customer and then you mosey on up to the next stop. I hate doing that, never done it. I could imagine the hot grease and stuff that's splashing around while you're driving. That's something you guys want to look into. Um, Back into the $400,000 a year. If you make $400,000 a year, you imagine what your taxes would be. Well, I mean, if you live in a state where you pay state tax, at that point, at $400,000 a year, you probably have a corporation, an LLC of some sort that you are working for. Nobody makes that much money under sole proprietorship or under, Manny's food truck. That just don't work that way. If you manage to make 400,000, you imagine what your expenses would be. A box of chicken tenders right now is $40. A box of, say, your deluxe premium select fries is around $40. You do the math. What are you gonna sell the chicken tenders with? Fries, sauce, the rest of the stuff that it ketchup. You could sell it for maybe in a good area 15, 18. You might get away with 20 in certain spots, but usually four chicken tenders and fries, as an example, is around 12, $13. Now, food is scarce. Food's gone up. I hate one thing I hate to do, to be honest with you, is to bring up the prices on my customers. I hate to do that because there's no way you can get them to understand that, hey, food just went up, gas just went up, electricity just went up. I'm gonna charge you $2 more for this. That alone can make you lose the customer. Yeah, that alone can cause you to lose the customer. So I'm not. That's not a good practice. Now back into the top of the conversation, guys. If you bought a food truck and you need to budget yourself within three menus. Okay, this $400,000 stuff this guy's talking about, that's not true. Period. I guess it's for the sake of the commercial. It's some kind of clickbait. It is not true. You don't make $400,000 in no one food truck. Not the first year you start out. Okay, I'm not saying it's impossible. Not by yourself. If you took the 400,000 a year, which is what 52 weeks or 12 months, and you divide it, where we at? That's a pretty good chunk of change. So me personally, I wouldn't base the ethics of my business under this bravado, this braggadocious type of way of doing things. And if you did make 400,000, believe me, you would not reveal it. You would not say it to anyone, because that alone right there is a tax. Is a red flag. Okay, it's a red flag. I mean, you're falling under 400,000. You right there with the tax cuts, right? But anyway, this message, guys, I brought to you guys. I don't want you to go out and actually, you know, base yourself on what these infomercials are saying on YouTube, that a friend of mine makes a lot of money, a friend of mine this and that in the food truck. People are not looking at the headache that first come before you even start making money. Most food truck owners are drained to the last dollar by the time they get that gas valve open. Once you start, now you got to figure out how to organize, how to assemble, how to deal with customers, how to deal with broken equipment, how to deal with the heat, how to deal with the cold weather, how to deal with organizing your plates, cups, lids, napkin. Because you want to, if a customer comes in, they grab something and you want to hand them a soda and a straw at the same time, or you want to hand them the food with the napkin. That stuff takes a lot of understanding and a lot of patience. A lot of you guys, oh man, let me have a beer to loosen me up. Don't do that. Don't be drinking no beer on no food truck. It'll make you tired and you become senseless in no time, because you're not inside of a well ventilated building. Okay, there's a word in Spanish called tiendas. It's like, a food truck is like, that miscellaneous convenience. Or you can judge a food truck as if like something odd, something weird. Well, let me go have some alligator tail, something you can't get at a restaurant, a fried Twinkie. That's the way people think of food trucks. They think of us as exotic mobile dispensers, mobile food dispensers, regardless of what you sell. Because people always say, "Damn, there's this guy. He makes cow tongue. Yeah, he makes cow tongue with tacos, and they give you that sauce with it. I can't remember the name." That's how people talk and remember food trucks. You, as a food truck owner, I would suggest, if you do buy one, find yourself a permanent spot. Running around is not making you money unless you got one of those little 8 foot, 10 foot taco trucks that you can just zip around town with it and sell just tacos. No, if you got a nice size 20-foot food truck, you got all your equipment, your licensing and everything. What you need to do is find yourself a spot that is permanent. When you look for a spot, make sure you got no other food trucks around. Make sure that you are able to get a bathroom. There's a law that says you gotta have toiletry. You gotta have a bathroom, a portable bathroom, or anything I think it has to be like 100 feet from your truck. Establish yourself, make flyers, make cards, talk to people, make yourself a little barcode, put the barcode on the truck, give a free bottle of water, subscribe, free bottle of water. I mean, you'd be surprised if you saw If you give away, say, 100 bottles of water, you got 100 subscribers. They will subscribe. I've done that. And once you set up shop, you just have to watch the competitors. I'm not saying that because I want you to feel as if that competitor is a problem. That competitor is your problem. Yes, that competitor is your problem because that competitor is that one soda that you needed to complete that quota of yours that you're not going to sell. So I'd rather you have control of the competitor instead of the competitor having control of you. The type of foods that you cook is probably going to be the type of crowd that you get. Okay? Remember that. That's why you don't stigmatize, you don't mark your truck as, well, I'm from Puerto Rico, I'm gonna make mofongo. Don't do that. I'm from Australia, I'm gonna make kangaroo tail. Don't do that. Because you don't want a person to look at your truck and be like, nah, I don't feel like tacos today. When you're wrapping your truck, make your truck a food truck. Don't give it a slash food truck slash hyphen that and the other. No, just say food truck. You can put burgers on it, wings on it, tacos on it, salads on it, fruits on it, whichever. But once you put that Jamaican flag, once you put that Ethiopian flag on your truck, that's what you are, and that's what people look at you. You could make the best wings, but if you have a foreign flag, people are gonna assume like if you got an Iranian flag, you're gonna be making hummus. That's how people think. It's nothing racial, sexual, even misogynist, whatever about it. It's just a fact. My food truck got a big Italian sausage on there. I got burgers, I got fries, and I got wings. I mean, who does not eat those? But then again, I might feel like making jerk chicken this weekend, right? I don't have jerk chicken on the truck, but that's just the way that I want you guys to, when you watch this video. By the way, guys, please encourage, subscribe, thumbs up, and ask me questions. I'm ready for any questions. So back to the top of the conversation. If you feel as if, well, you're gonna buy a food truck because you feel this guy is making a lot of money, don't do that. First, it's your passion. Okay, you're gonna go through some dark times, and once you rise above, you will start making money. Let me tell you, the average food truck, if you make 500 profit a day, you made good money. Seriously, because okay, just say you went out and you purchased food for $300 for that day. Okay, chicken tenders, sausage, bread, um, drinks, um, what do you call it? Condiments or onions and stuff. What is there's a word for that? I forgot the word. Anyway, onions and stuff, and then you cook, your spice and all that. You spent $300. That $300 you should be able to double that and then twice. Seriously, if you do your math right, if you know how to shop. You don't have to buy different breads. You can have that one bread. It does a hot dog and it does a sausage and it does a Philly's cheesesteak. That one bread. Okay. $300 into the food truck should make you a markup of 100% and then some. Because you got to pay yourself, you got to pay the truck, and you got to pay you got to pay rent or wherever. You got to pay. This is three major things that you have to actually make sure you pay. You got to pay yourself, payroll, and you got to pay the truck. Yes, you got to reserve money for the truck in case of a rainy day. Okay, if you make a profit of 300, you can take that same 300 and you flip it again. That's how it works. And hopefully you have some good days that 300 would be reserved, and all that profit would be, say, another 300 on top of another 300. Hopefully for the week, within 4 days, that 300 can turn into 2, 3 thousand, maybe $4,000, depends on where you're at. Now, the faster you are able to prep a meal, the more money you make. Give you an example: a guy who sells oxtails and rice, chances are been up 4 in the morning. Now it's 11 a.m. He's ready to serve. Now he's just ready to serve. He's done cooking, his steam pans, his warmers, everything is ready. All he has to do is dig in, dig in, and serve. Okay. Versus you who makes tacos, you got all your supplies right there, your cheese, your lettuce, and this and that and the other. Now you got to put this together. You got to put it together. Some of it you got to wrap, some of them you got to warm up and heat up or whatever it is. That takes about a good 20 minutes to prepare, say, two tacos and fries. Versus the guy who sells the oxtail and his food is done. His food been done from 8 a.m. He's got his oxtails, he's got his rice, he's got his vegetables, he's got his drinks, he's got everything ready. So he's faster than you because he actually prepped ahead of time. Can you prep a taco ahead of time? Not for long. I don't think so. No, not for long. You can prep a taco knowing that if you have that customer base, they're coming to get a taco. You can have a taco ready, put it in a warmer for about 20 minutes before the lettuce and stuff starts to get soggy and kind of fuse itself into the everything else. So I just gave you two choices. You're gonna do finger foods or you're gonna cook real food. Okay? Cooking real food, you're done cooking, you prepped, and then you ready to serve. In case you didn't sell all the oxtails and rice, what do you do with it? You refrigerate it at the proper temperature. You can actually resell it. There's nothing absolutely wrong with that. So before you get into, well, this guy makes 400,000 in a food truck, even if you had the opportunity to make it, you couldn't do it. You're just not experienced enough. Okay? You're just not. Within the first year or two, unless you've kind of like debuted, you began in a very busy place. Let me tell you something. You're not gonna do it. You're gonna get confused. You're just gonna get tired to the point where the bottom of your feet starts hurting and you're like halfway sitting down, halfway standing up. You're probably not getting the right sleep. You're not measuring yourself. Before you think about making all that money in a food truck, practice everything I just told you. One, don't go taking your truck next to some food truck park that the owner's going to tell you, well, do you sell this? Well, don't sell that because that guy sells that. Like really, like without warning, I can't sell my chicken tenders. No, man, the guy. Okay, so do your homework when you get into that food truck world craziness. Do the math and make sure that you have a good location, good attitude. Be patient. Don't crowd yourself with a bunch of menus and a bunch of drinks because the last time that guy was here, he asked you for a mocha latte. Now here you go. You're making mocha latte and you're making this and that and the other. Um, from my experience, hot drinks is not a moneymaker on the food truck. Don't even bother with the coffee. Don't bother with the mocha. Don't bother with the ice this and the ice that. It's just a waste of time. You want to cook something on that food truck. Let me pick breakfast. You do biscuits and gravy. Biscuits are ready, gravy is ready. You're not making the stuff, you're actually buying it pre made. So you're prepping it for your customer. You get it? All right, can I get biscuits and gravy? One biscuit, gravy on top. And if you have another side, you can do it. You see how fast that was? Versus you making eggs and the person that's like, well, can you make mine a Benedict? Can you make mine over easy? Or can you make mine a sunny side? Confused. That confuses you. Bacon takes too long. I'd rather use sausage. This is from experience. You want that food on that tray out of the window. You got to find something that you're not impressing the public. You got to have a menu that you can flip and turn it around in no time. Like people say, well, I make grits and fish. I don't want to make grits because grits take too long. And then you have those, well, it's too watery. Then you have the one, oh, it's too hard. Well, I put cream cheese in mine. Well, I put that in mine. I put butter in mine. That's too much. Whenever you start getting into ethnic foods, you have a lot of judges. Yes. Oh, I don't cook my greens that way. You cook your greens that way. It's like everybody's an expert in culinary. All of a sudden, you show up. You got to ignore that. Then you have the ones that you serve them fries. They leave it in the car. 2 hours later, they bring. Oh, you served me some. You served me some cold fries. Ignore that. If it gets to the point where it becomes an argument, just take the damn fries, throw them in the trash, and give them a batch, another batch. It ain't gonna cost you nothing because by the time that person sits there arguing, you got 10 people coming. You don't want that argument in around your truck because people are gonna be like, "Oh, what's going on over there?" People assume the worst, by the way. So just get rid of it. Here you go. You want your money back or you want your fries? Which one is it? Bye. And do it as fast as you can because if you see them bringing the food to you, you already know what's going on. Trust me, you do. Don't give yourself another hesitation, another thought. Just get ready. Hey, ma'am, come this way. Try and get that person away from the crowd if you have one, and say, "What happened?" Well, these fries are cold. Well, here's your money back. Are you okay? All right, go. Once you give them their money back, that argument is like kaput. There's nothing else to say. Close the window. Move on to the customers. That customer will not come back. And that's exactly what you did to make sure they don't come back. So, all this hype about how some guy came from the Middle East and all of a sudden he's making shawarmas and he's making, you know, a bunch of money is a lie. It is a lie. I got another video I'm gonna let you guys hear. This guy I think is from the Middle East or something. He came in. I guess he created his own food truck park and he's got more than one food truck. In that sense, I can imagine 400,000. I can. I can imagine. You got more than one food truck. I can imagine that. But let me wait for this commercial to play. I'm gonna just let you hear it. I'm not gonna.
It will definitely surprise you.
My name is Saeed. I'm the owner of Ibla Mediterranean Grill, and I own 3 trailers. And I will show you how to make 200K a year by opening a food cart business.
That sounds incredible, you guys.
Okay. I've been in business a very long time, meaning I did shovel snow for money. Seriously, I used to shovel. I would wait for my neighbors to go to work or whatever, and I would shovel their snow and make my little $2. And I would go to like a supermarket. I was a bagger boy. I used to bag after school. So I've been around business a long time. And there's a lot of things people ask me, well, what did you learn in business? Well, one of the things I mainly learned was what not to do. When you learn what not to do, that's when you start making money. Keep it simple. This guy has 3 food trucks. Apparently, he's got some land. He's got someone's in his favor. I think he's doing well. He says he's going to teach you how to make 300K for the year. If you watch the whole video, he's not teaching you anything. It's more like a braggadocious moment where he's actually venting himself in ways like, okay, well, I do make that kind. You can make that much money if you have more than one food truck. Like I said, the average food truck, if you make 500 profit per day, okay, 500 profit per day, you work 4 days a week. You figure, you know, 4 days a week out of 4 weeks, that gives you what, 16? And you could do the math, 500 times, even if you work 20 days a week at $500 a day, do the math. 500 times 20 gives you what, 10,000? So, me personally, I wouldn't base my business on that hype where I'm going to make a bunch of money. Crawl slowly and see where you're actually what they call the niche, where that is. Maybe your niche is chicken wings. Maybe it's baked potato. Maybe You're in a neighborhood where people like shawarmas. Maybe you're in a neighborhood where people like jerk chicken or European Mediterranean cooking. You just got to find what more likes you than of more you going towards it. Let it come towards you. That's my advice. Once you have the truck, you should be cool, easy, find yourself a nice place. And I would rather foot traffic. Everybody would rather foot traffic next to a Home Depot if they'll allow you, or Lowe's if they allow you. Make sure you're not making noise, and make sure you're not smoking stuff. People don't like that smoke unless you're out in the open. No music. Watch who you hang out with. There's certain types of people that have a certain look that people, once they see that, they're not coming. Welcome to the world of Americas, okay? So keep your environment clean, quiet. If you have to play a little opera music, and play opera music, a little mellow, you know, something that people could sit down and enjoy, a soda or a drink even. Um, there's a certain way you have to look. I would not eat from a person with long hair. I'm not. I wouldn't do it. That's just me. That's what the book says. Person with long hair, person is prepping with rings, the person's watch is on, the person is talking over the food. No, you got long hair, you got long beard, put a net. Put a net over your hair. That's all you got to do. Society will love you. Now, you want to prep the flour. I've seen people, oh, they make their burritos. Oh, we make it from fresh. But you got a ring and a watch, some kind of jewelry, some kind of bracelet. Most of it all, you talking over the food. You know how much stuff that comes. Those are the things. Get a spit mask, get some hair nets, get gloves. When people see that appearance, believe me, they'll come back. Practice that. You'd be surprised. Well, you're touching the money and then you're touching the gloves, and you're like, well, that's why I told you that a person who says they make $1,500, $1,800 a day can't do it, because a customer hands you money, you gotta take the gloves off to take the money, right? That's too much work. Then you gotta work the cash register. Some people would order something and cancel it. Some people, oh, put it back. Oh well, no, my aunt needs it. Well, you know what? Take it out. Forget it. Now you got to take all this stuff out. You got things in the fire, things on the burner, and then people waiting on you. That's why if one person says they make that much money, which is $1,500 a day, it is a lie. Not crying out lie, for Christ's sake. You can't do it. When you go to the Serve Safe, as far as take the test, the Serve Safe food manager test, if an inspector walks on your truck and you are a cashier as well as the cook, there's a violation in there somewhere. Well, I mean, unless you're just selling hot dogs, you're just doing hot dogs, okay? $5 a hot dog, you know what? Put it in the box or whatever. But me personally, to end this conversation, actually, I don't want you to base yourself on some guy who feels as if like he's making a bunch of money and you're gonna go out there and do it. No, it's gonna take time. Give it time. Don't sell the truck. Don't be in a hurry to get rid of it, because now that you got into it, all you're gonna do is try to get into something else. Guys, over and out. Chef John, I hope that I gave good advice today. And if you appreciate the advice, leave me a text, write me, I don't know, call me, anything, email me. If you have any questions and you are at that very point where you bought this truck and don't know what to do with it, I will guide you towards the right path of success. Chef John, Grab and Go Concessions. Our new logo, look at it. Food mechanics. Interesting. Till the next one.